People will listen to you or even agree with you way more if they like you, and they will like you more if you treat them respectfully. So many times in life, you know you are right, but others don't get you, or they don't want to get you. Like you're trying to say some fact, something important, but they ignore you, they ridicule you, or they probably even fight you. You're like, I was simply trying to say that sugar is bad for health. What was so controversial about that? And it's more annoying when you see that they can actually take the same information from someone else, but just not you. Like someone else is saying, oh, Mumbai is a great city, and your mom says, yeah, I mean, it's really good. But when you say Mumbai is a great city, she's like, what great, it's all just traffic and rains. You may end up feeling like, why do some people just have to contradict everything you say? And not just that, if you try to stick up for your point, like if you try to prove your point well, they can start calling you argumentative. Like, you argue too much. And this of course sucks for you because you're trying to explain something, you're trying to say the truth, you're trying to give your honest best explanation, but people are just not taking it. And it's especially annoying because they deprive us of the feeling of being proven right. We do enjoy it when others acknowledge, oh, you're actually right about that, I learned something from you. So what do? I mean, you are right but unable to prove yourself. So today we're going to talk about how to convince others without annoying yourself or others. I have 3 insights today. The last one is the most important, so let's go one by one. First one is kind of an obvious one, which is try to become a better explainer. I mean, at the core of really convincing others and explaining things well, you have to explain better. You have to come up with a great argument. You have to present your points in a logical fashion. Whatever you're talking about, it could be politics, sports, culture, health, career growth, how to fix your refrigerator, whatever it is you're talking about, you have to know what you're talking about. Otherwise, people will ignore you. And in the long run, you have to develop this reputation for knowing things decently well. Like people should kind of get this perception that if you are opening your mouth, something good will come out of it. So invest in learning. Now, of course, this one was pretty obvious. So let's get to the next 2, which are the main ones. So second one is don't trigger their defense systems. Now, in an ideal world, if you gave somebody some good information, they should be able to just take it. Like if it's a better fact, people should just adopt it, agree with it. But sadly, that doesn't happen. There are some elements of our own psychology that can become obstacles in taking information from others. And one of them is becoming defensive. And when does somebody become defensive? When they feel attacked. So more than what you say to people, what matters is how you say it. When you talk to others, you have to make them feel equal and respected. If they feel attacked by you even a little bit, you're not gonna get anything through them. You may be 100% right, but if people don't like you, you can't prove anything to them. So when you talk to them, treat them as equal and respect them. Don't put them down. Don't make them feel stupid. If you make them feel inferior, they will hate admitting that you are right. But if they feel respected, if they feel that, okay, you are treating them nicely, then their defense goes down. They don't have to keep their guard up. Then they can let the information go in. So basically, people will listen to you or even agree with you way more if they like you. And they will like you more if you treat them respectfully. And this is something that you have to learn for yourself also. Just because you have some good information, just because you have access to advanced knowledge, does not make you a superior human being. So don't act like one. Whatever you say it modestly. Basically, you winning should not take away anything from them. So don't start an ego battle with the person you're trying to convince. In any conversation, your goal should be that I'm just a conduit. I'm just a pipeline of good information. That's how you should see yourself. Don't try to own it. Don't try to act smarter. Don't inflate your ego. Because again, if you sound superior, you're basically starting a war with them. And once you start a war, they would love to contradict you. Now it doesn't matter what you say, how scientific, how good your information is. They just want to put you down now. You could be the smartest person on earth. They can still call you stupid. No matter how right you are, they can still call you wrong. What are you going to do then? If you're liking this information so far, please hit the subscribe button and bell icon. My commitment is to give you the best ideas on happiness and well-being. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. So this not starting a war brings us to our third point, the most important one. Don't be a warrior, be a sport. In this section, I'm going to tell you what to do externally, how to think internally, and then some bonus conversational tips. Externally, your approach should be, I have to offer information, not push. When you talk to other people, you don't have to be the last man standing. Like, it's not your duty or your role to dominate everybody's minds at the end of a conversation. You're not doing any conquest here. So don't act like such a warrior that I'm not gonna leave until everybody agrees with me. Instead, be a sport. Play the intellectual game. Have fun with it, and after you have played for a little bit, be be ready to leave and shake hands. You have to take a sports person spirit here. Some people just don't leave the conversation. They will keep coming back to it until everybody says, okay, you're right, just let it go. Some people get really serious and actually annoyed. They keep pushing until things break. So don't do all of that. Just offer your opinions, don't push. But I know this is not so easy because we enjoy being proven right. So how to do that? Now comes the internal part. Internally, you must stay detached from the outcome of the argument and you must prioritize fun and happiness. So I do want to acknowledge that it's important to be right in life. So let's distinguish between those two things, being right and being proven right. Being right is super important because it's for you. It is your knowledge. It is your life. Because if you are ignorant, you can lead yourself into disastrous results for yourself, even illness, injury, or even death. So when it comes to the basics of life, you have to be right about those. But let's separate that from being proven right. You don't have to get that acknowledgement from others that you are right. You just have to be right. So what I'm saying here is let go of that being proven right part. Don't pursue that with such intensity. Stay detached there. So think about it for a second. Why do you want people to agree with you? Why do you want to be proven right, let's say in front of 10 people or in a group discussion or in a team meeting? You want others to see how intelligent you are, how smart you are. You think if you are ultimately proven more intelligent, people will like you more. Like, will it earn you some extra social credit? People might start praising you behind your back and they would want to connect with you. Or maybe you hope to change people's lives, like you're trying to help them. All of these reasons are pretty normal. But if you really look at your life, you'll realize that you're actually not that good at achieving those by constantly, forcefully pushing your arguments. So what you hope to achieve, you're actually not. Things may actually be backfiring. Think of these questions. Think of the people that you like in your life. How many people in your life do you actually like or connect with because they are super smart? Or to be specific, how many people do you like in life who are constantly trying to prove themselves right? Not many, because we tend to like people who are nice and easygoing. Like they say, nobody likes a wise ass. And let's look in the past. So far, up to this point, you have engaged yourself in hundreds of conversations where you've really tried to prove yourself right. What has that gotten you? Like, where have you reached with all of that? How many lives have you changed? How many people are applauding you? How many new friends did you make because of that? Not many, I would imagine. So you really need to stop and reflect where your efforts are taking you. See, basically, when in a conversation, you become too steadfast, you become too adamant, then you actually generate this reciprocal response in people where they also become adamant and steadfast. So by pushing too much, you're actually making the conversation less productive. You're ruining the environment of the conversation. And secondly, sometimes you can actually end up losing a lot of fun and happiness of that moment due to those heated conversations. Like you're at a party talking to people, then a conversation around alcohol starts and you become very serious. You start laying down all the harms and problems with alcohol and you just get into it. Now you want everybody who's talking to you to really agree with you. Like, how can they not see it? How can they not see the facts? You first annoy yourself and then you annoy others. You came to the party to have fun, but well, not anymore. You leave the party thinking, people are so dumb. So I would say prioritize fun and happiness. In fact, change your idea of where you seek happiness. Don't seek happiness from trying to look smarter or more intelligent or trying to prove yourself right. Seek happiness from just having conversations. Seek happiness from just having the opportunity to offer your perspective. And then also seek happiness from leaving the conversation and talking about something else. Now I'll give you some quick conversational tips that can help you improve your game. I called it a sport, right? So let's improve your skills. In conversations with people, you can start saying, I think this is good, this is not good, this is important, this is not important. Basically, people don't want you to indicate that you own the truth, that whatever you said is just the complete last truth. That really leaves no space for their truth. So that's why when you say, okay, I think so, then you are indicating that, okay, you can think differently and that could also be partly right. This way they feel less threatened. But in case you're actually saying some fact, which is something that you learned somewhere, let's say from a book, then you can't really say, I think that, because you learned something somewhere. So in that case, it would be a great idea to actually talk about the source. This makes it much easier for them to swallow. You can actually start it like this. Oh, even I did not know that. Even I did not know that fiber was so important for your diet. But recently I read this book that dietary fiber is amazing. It's one of the most important things and you should include it in your diet every day. So after talking about some source, some book, you have removed yourself from the equation. You have just become a pipeline for information, and that's so much easier for people to take and agree with. It's hard for them to admit that you are better than them, but it's much easier when it's some external source. Next one, you should always acknowledge what what they are saying, because whatever they say may have like 5%, 10% truth. Like it could be applicable in some scenarios. So it's always good to acknowledge where they are right. For example, you are right that crime is increasing and that's bad, but for overall growth, we actually need the productivity to go up. That's how we will solve major problems of the city or the country. Now, I'm not saying this is my exact opinion, just giving you an example that when somebody says something which may not be the most important thing, which may not be the top factor, you can acknowledge that, okay, what you're saying is a factor, it's something important, but I think something else is more important. Don't say things like, oh, that's completely wrong, oh, you're mistaken, oh no, that's not true at all, because most of the times things don't work binary like that. So acknowledge what's right about what they're saying and then add your perspective. Next, just remember that you actually might be wrong too. I mean, in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I'm right, that's why I'm so confident. But haven't you been learning all your life? You were not born with this information. So just like you've learned things so far, you have a lot to learn in the remaining years too. So be open to that. When someone contradicts you, they actually may be right. So show some curiosity and openness for that as well. Next one, try not to repeat yourself too much, trying to get the last word in. That again sounds very pushy. Like once you have said your part, once you've explained thing once or twice, then you're like, okay, like, you know what? I've said my part. That is a good time to let it go. That is a good time to retreat, step back, leave the conversation, shake hands. And as you leave the conversation, you can say things like, let's just agree to disagree. Say it nicely. You can say, well, I just think differently here. And if it's like a trivial issue, you can say, chalo, kya fark padta hai? And sometimes if a topic is stretched too far, you can actually go ahead and change the topic, which is, oh, so how's your job going? And one last thing that you need to remember, that so many times in that moment, they may contradict you, but if your idea was good, that will make them think. So many people don't overtly say, oh, you are so right, because they also want to save face. They also don't want to be proven wrong. So that's why overtly, right in front of you, they will not agree to things, but they actually may change their minds later on. It's like if your idea is really good, it will be implanted in their brains and the seed will pop later. So that's why keep sowing your seeds by offering your information. Don't push too much. If I have to summarize all of it, if you really want to convince others, if you really want to change others, don't care about changing others that much. Be detached from the process, be nice to them, be likable. Socially, how you say it matters way more than what you say. And all of it is such a win-win. Not only do you get to stay cool and chill, you actually end up getting more agreement from people. Try this and let me know in the comments how much it worked. If you want to see more of my videos for dealing with humans and navigating your social life, you can watch this playlist. Link is also in the description. Shridhar Lifeschool is a team of psychologists who specialize in counseling. If you're going through very difficult times or you want to achieve higher well-being, we offer one-on-one counseling for individuals, couples, parents, and their children. To book sessions, go to our website shridharlifeschool.com.